Hi there everyone. Today I'm going to show you how to make some pickled beets, and these are about 5 pounds of fresh beets. I'm not going to use 5 pounds, I'm going to use more like 3 pounds, and I normally buy them with the stems on them, and then I wash them, cut them up, and I cook them with garlic and onion, and they're really good. But today I didn't want to. I just wanted to get the beets. So I purchased about 5 pounds, and they're all the red ones, but I got one orange one just for fun. So this is a very nutritional root vegetable. It has vitamin C, folate, manganese. It's been known to lower blood pressure, and it's really good for digestion. Now I have another recipe that I promised to make several months ago, and I haven't gotten to that one yet. But that one is called beet kvass, and I am going to make that. But in the meantime, I found this really good recipe that I'm going to make. And so I need pickled beets first. And so this is really simple and really delicious. So I hope you enjoy this wonderful and healthy recipe. Okay, the very first thing you're going to want to do is not just rinse them, but you're going to want to get a vegetable scrubber and really scrub these well. That's what you have to do first. So after we scrub these really, really well, we're going to boil them in a pot. Now I could roast these, but if I roast them, I'm going to want to eat them roasted because I love roasted beets, but that's not what I'm doing today. I'm going to boil these for about 20 to 25 minutes until they're fork tender. You don't want them overdone, you just want them fork tender. And then we're going to dip them in cold water and peel the skins. So here are all the ingredients you're going to need. You're going to need 3 cups of apple cider vinegar, or you could use white vinegar, 1 large or medium onion, some sugar, and I'm using organic coconut sugar. You can use regular sugar, regular brown sugar, a sucanat brown sugar, whatever you want. And then I'm using a few peppercorns and a few whole cloves. I'm using kosher salt, of course 3 pounds of beets, and I'm using a 2-quart jar. Now you could use small jars, and that would be anywhere from 4 to 6 pint-sized jars. Now you can also use like a stick or 2 of cinnamon. I mean, it just depends on your preference. I don't want that flavor. I mainly want the salty brine, but I am adding a few peppercorns and cloves, and that's all I'm going to add. So let's get started. So the next step is we're going to slice the onion after I do the brine. So all the ingredients for the brine are right here. So we're going to add 3 cups of apple cider in a pot, a separate pot obviously from the beets. Then we're going to add 1 cup of, and I'm using spring water, nothing chlorinated. You don't want chlorinated water. You're going to have a teaspoon of salt, and whatever seasonings you're going to put in. Like I said, I have the cloves and peppercorns. You could also use allspice, which I don't have. So like I said, I'm not looking for like a real spicy effect. And then a lot of recipes call for 1 and 2 cups of sugar, but this one calls for a ½ a cup, and I'm adding a little extra. It's a real healthy ½ a cup. And then what you're going to do is you're going to mix everything together in a pot. And then you're going to heat it up and bring it to a boil. And once it reaches a boil, you'll turn it down and let it simmer for about 10 minutes. And then what I do is I cut an onion in half, and I'm using the red onion. And then I slice like thin slices, like about like this, probably 1/4 of an inch. And I slice up the whole onion in half moon shapes, just like this. And this is so flavorful. It's pickled right along with the beets, and it's really very good. So that's what we're going to do right now. Just finish chopping up our onion your red, yellow, or white onion, whichever one you choose. So here's our 2 pots, one with the beets, and it's starting to come to a boil, and these are larger beets, so probably boil about 20 to 30 minutes until they're fork tender. Now this, it has the cloves, it has the salt, everything in it. And the reason that once it reaches a boil, we're going to simmer it 10 minutes is so all the flavors get infused in the brine, as well as dissolving the sugar. So here's our boil. Now we're going to turn it down to simmer for 10 minutes. Okay, so these are fork tender. I've already tried it. I'm showing you now. See how it goes in like that and comes out? That's how you know they're fork tender. They're not overcooked. They're just how you want them. So I'm going to drain these and fill this pot up with cold water so that I can peel the skins. So now we're filling this up with cold water, and there's a lot of coloring in beets. That's why I have my apron that's more worn than any of them, that's already stained. And I'm not going to put gloves on. They're harder to work with these beets, so I'm going to let my hands get stained. Okay, I rinsed and filled this up with cold water and kind of cooled these down a bit. So now I'm going to show you how we peel them. You just kind of go like that and they peel off real easy, just like that. You just push on it. Your hands are going to get magenta colored. It's a beautiful color. If you ever want to dye a white t-shirt pink, just soak it in beet juice. So what I'm going to do is go through all these beets and I'm going to peel the skins off. So that'll take a few minutes. I will return. You can also use a little paring knife or any kind of little knife if you would rather do it this way instead of using your hands. It comes off real easy. So it doesn't matter if you use your hands like I showed you or a knife. Whatever's easier for you will work. Okay, here you can see all the colors here. I'm not worried about my cutting board. I've had this cutting board for many years, this island, and it's gone through a lot of abuse. I've done beets on here before, so this will all kind of fade away through time. But what we're going to do now is we're going to cut our beets. And you can choose any way you want. I'm going to do like little squares. Typically when you buy beets in the store, you'll see them kind of like little rounds, and of course you can see them chopped up in little squares, diced like little dice. I'm just going to cut them in pieces about like this, and these are excellent for salads, and that's what I'm going to be making with some of this. That's why I was excited, because I'm going to make a particular type of salad with these beets. So the next video that I make is going to show what I make with some of these pickled beets. I'm going to make a type of salad, and it's absolutely wonderful. So I'm going to finish slicing these up. So here's my colorful mess. Just beautiful. So there is a difference in the flavor of these two. The orange beets are more mild, and they're kind of more of a nutty flavor. It's the best way to describe it to you. So now what we're going to do is you will have placed your sliced onions in a bowl, and then you're going to I might as well just use my hands. You're going to mix all the beets in with the onions, just like this. And I'm going to wipe this. I'll be right back. Okay, our next step is to kind of toss the onions and beets together. You're just going to make sure all of them are tossed and combined, so they're kind of equally combined. And then after that, after we have everything kind of combined, we're going to place this in our, this is my 2-quart jar. And you can use like 6 4-pint jars if you want. Anywhere from 4 to 6, depending on how many you have. I'm just putting everything in one 2-quart jar. So I'm going to finish filling this up and I'll be right back. Okay, we've packed everything in as much as we can, as tightly packed as possible, and you're going to want to leave about 1 inch below the rim. So now we're going to take our brine and get a ladle, and we're going to put it in here. Now you can use a sieve if you want. I'm not going to, but I wanted to show you that you can. If you have a bunch of like spices and you don't want it all to go in there, I have very little. I have just a few cloves of clove, whole cloves, and I have maybe 7 little peppercorns, and that's it. So I don't really need to strain mine. So this is what we're doing now. We're just going to pour all of this up till about a half an inch below the rim. Now, if you had a whole bunch of spices, cinnamon sticks, and you know, all kinds of different spices, you could drain it or strain it. So I could have used there. That's about a half inch below the rim. I could have used the last beet, and I would have had about 5 pounds. So actually, 5 pounds would definitely be fine in here, because this is 4 pounds about. It's more than 3, but I said about 3. And here we are. It's all set. Now I'm going to, it's cool now. I'm going to refrigerate it for about 3 hours, and this will last up to 3 months. Hey everyone, I hope you have enjoyed this tutorial on how to make pickled beets. Always put like a label, and you can put the date on it so you know when you made them. And like I said, you can use little pint jars if you want. I just happen to have this big 2-quart jar that I absolutely love. And so for me, it's more convenient in my refrigerator that I can just take some out and put it in a bowl. Now you can do many, many things with this. You can eat it just like this with the onions and the beets as like a side relish. It's really good just like that. Or you can make like a beet salad. And the next video that I post will be of this really awesome salad that I discovered on my vacation. I want to share it with you. So I hope you give this a try. It's so easy and so rewarding and so delicious. Thank you so much for watching. Good morning, everyone. This is the next day after I made my pickled beets, and I thought it would be nice to try it in front of you. And I am going to make my beet salad today, so a little later today, so let's give it a try. Really bursting with flavor. Bursting with flavor. That brine really makes it so yummy. The onions are really crunchy, flavorful. This is a great, great side to make. And you can do, like I said, so many different things with it. You can make salads with it. But it's healthy and delicious to eat it just like this. So I hope you give this recipe a try. Thanks so much for watching.